Hello students, this is Mr. Boyd. We've been talking about factoring quadratics, and today I want to show you the diamond method. Now, if you are already comfortable with the box method or some other type of method that we've explored, you can continue to use that. This is not a requirement, but for some folks this seems a little simpler. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I've listed the instructions here for you, and really they're the same until you get down to step 6. So I'll let you guys read through that. I won't read through that for you. Notice that we're still multiplying a times c and putting it in the top and b in the bottom. So we're looking for two numbers that have a product of a times c and a sum for b, just like we've already done. And then this e and f are those two factors that multiply to give us ac and add to give us b. So let's take a look at this first example. So if I multiply a times c, I would have negative 6x squared. And b is negative 5x. Okay? Now, I'm not sure right away what multiplies to give me negative 6 and adds to give me negative 5. So I'm going to go ahead and just list the factors of negative 6, or of 6 to start with, and then negative 6. Okay? Now notice that my product needs to be a negative 6 and my sum needs to be negative. Well, since the sum needs to be negative, I know that the larger number has to be negative because to add these numbers together and get a negative answer, the bigger number determines the answer on the sign on the answer. Okay, so this would be a 1x, and this would be a negative 6x, just like we've done before. Now here's kind of where we part ways with what we've done before. So step 6 says put a fraction bar over the left and right values, and then we want to put ax on top of it. So what is a? A is 2. Okay? Now, we don't want this x in the bottom down here for this exercise. So now let's simplify this. Can we simplify either of these ratios? Well, this one's okay like it is. We'll just leave that one like it is because 2 over 1 cannot be simplified. So actually our first factor is 2x plus 1. And this is a plus because this is a positive 1 in the denominator. Okay, let's take a look at the second ratio. Well, I see that this can be divided by 2. And if we divide the numerator and denominator by 2, we end up with 1x and minus 3 in the denominator, which gives us x minus 3 as our second factor. I know that's a little confusing to you to start with, but we're going to do a couple more examples and see how we do with this. Okay? So first thing we want to do is 6 times negative 2. That's going to give me negative 12. I need a sum. I need a product of negative 12 and a sum of negative 1. Well, let's see, negative 12. Negative 12. So I've got 1 times 12. I see that my sum needs to be negative, so I'll go ahead and put a negative on this 12 because the larger number needs to be negative. Put a negative there. 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 12. 4. Okay, so we're coming back down the other side now. Okay, so I've got 3 and negative 4 are the two numbers that work. I'm going to put the fraction bar over it, and I'm going to put a with an x, a with an x. Okay, now, can I simplify these? Well, I see that I can simplify both of these ratios by dividing this one by 3. I'm going to work off to the left here. So that's going to give me a 2x in the numerator and a 1 in the denominator. And then on this side, I see that I can divide the numerator and denominator by 2 to simplify this ratio. Okay, that's going to give me a 3x over a negative 2. So my left-hand factor would be 2x plus 1. coming from this ratio. My second factor would be 3x minus 2 coming from this ratio. Do that just to give you some visual. Now let's check and see if we actually did this correctly. So the inverse would be to multiply. So let's multiply. 2x times 3x would be 6x squared. 2x times negative 2 would be negative 4x. 1 times 3x, let me change colors here, 1 times 3x would give us a positive 3x, and 1 times negative 2 would give us a minus 2. Okay? If we were to combine our like terms, do we end up with the product that we started with? And we do, so we factored this correctly. This is the correct factors for this product. Okay, let's take a look at one more example, maybe two. Pick up pace a little bit here. Okay, first of all, I'm back up here. Wow, I totally missed. There is a greatest common factor here already, and that is 3x. And I want to take that out because it's going to make my life simpler. Remember, we're factoring quadratics. This is not a quadratic right now. This is a cubic function. Okay? So if I factor out the 3x, 3x times x squared would give me 3x cubed. Kind of working backwards here. 3x times 5x would give me 15x squared. And 3x times 2 would give me 6x. Okay? So let's see. Now we want to see if we can factor just what's in the parentheses. So 2 times x, or 2 times 1, that would give me a product of 2, and I need a sum of 5. So what two numbers multiply to give me 2 and add to give me 5? Well, guess what? There aren't any. So I have factored this as much as it can be factored right here. This would be our final answer that I've boxed in. Okay? Let's move on to the next one, see if we get a little different result here. So here I see that the greatest common factor is actually 2x, leaving me with an x squared minus x minus 2. Okay, so let's see if we can factor this one. Again, this is a 1, so negative 2 times 1. I need a product of negative 2 with a sum of negative 1. Well, we know that 1 times 2 is 2. We'll make that smaller so we got some room to write our fraction bars in there. 1 times 2 is 2. I need the sum to be negative, so it has to be 1 times negative 2. Put my fraction bar in there. I'm going to put my a on top with an x beside it. And then simplify if I can. Okay, the left-hand side cannot be simplified, so that means my first factor is 2x plus 1. Again, this is a plus 1 because this is a positive 1 down here. I can simplify this ratio down to x over negative 1. So that tells me this factor is going to be x minus 1. And let's not forget that we factored out a 2x right back up here. And we need to bring that down as part of our factors. So we'll take and bring that down, put it in front of our parentheses. And these are the three factors for this quadratic expression. Okay, guys? All right, thanks for watching. As always, if you found this video helpful, click on the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be notified when I put out new videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.